everyone out there about the Green Party. We see the problem, but we work on the solutions. Greens have done that around the planet. In Europe, Germany had a green coalition government with the Social Democrats. And to get into that government, the Greens said, we will provide balance of power support to the Social Democrats if they move on a certain number of issues, limited issues. You can't, when you're a smaller party, you can only really bargain for a little bit, but they did. And what they got was agreement that they would move forward with turning Germany onto a 100% organic agriculture path. And number two, phasing out all the nuclear reactors and shifting Germany from a dependence on coal and nuclear energy to renewable energy. And people at the time said, the Greens are crazy. We're going to have, joblessness. Our economy is going to take a hit. We just can't go down that path. And they said, we've costed this out. We've looked at it. And, we know that we can go that way in a very secure, economic way, let alone environmental and social way. And in 1 year of taking Germany down that path, they had more jobs in the wind energy sector than in the nuclear and the coal mining sectors together. So, now there's 30,000 people employed in Europe in producing wind technology. 30,000 people. I want BC to get on that path. We have the best wind resources in the world. We have the best tidal energy resources in the world. Imagine if we took the subsidies out of road building to oil and gas development projects and put it into developing technology for tidal energy and wind energy and geothermal or geo-exchange and more solar energy and brought those costs down. Imagine in terms of the employment opportunities for people in our province to do that. We could be net exporters of green technology. We could be energy self-sufficient at the same time, and we could be getting off the path of climate change by reducing our demand and our need for fossil fuels. I mean, it's a win in every way you look at it. Yeah. So there are other areas that I see the Green Party really being able to champion. But what I'd like to do is give you the feeling that I get by the shift that I feel happening, starting to happen in this province. Some of it is that we have a government that's extremely regressive. I mean, that is taking us on a fast track, basically into more fossil fuels. And I mean, federally, we're mega leaping backwards, getting out of Kyoto and that kind of thing. But provincially, this Liberal government has refused to go the route of wind energy, turned down a major wind energy project off the north end of Vancouver Island. Turned it down in that they were willing to offer a gas-fired plant at Duke Point on Vancouver Island, 7.5 cents a kilowatt hour to purchase their energy. Gas-fired. They'd have to build a gas pipeline to Vancouver Island to do this. But they were only willing to acquire or buy the energy from a wind farm of almost about 2/3 more in size, 450 gigawatt plant, for 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour, 2 cents less for the wind energy, where the energy would be free, the source of energy free forever, 2 cents more for gas. Then I found out, in fact, that if they had gone with the wind energy and given them a decent price to get that project going, a firm in Europe, Vestas, was willing to invest over $30 million in building a wind turbine plant in BC so that they could sell the wind turbines to the plants. So we would have had employment, investment, wind energy into the grid. Government turned it down. Oh, and at the time, we could have got a 1 cent a kilowatt hour subsidy from the federal government that was committed at that point to Kyoto and trying to, generate wind energy. So it was like lose, lose, lose. Not only that, that wind plant, that wind company wanted to go ahead with it, so they applied to the provincial government for a permit to export their power, and they got it. So now the wind plant is going in And we're not getting any of the energy. They're building a underwater cable to the United States and exporting that energy to the States. Now, I shake my head like you. You know, it's almost ludicrous to think that a government that's supposed to be a leading economic force is actually taking us backwards in terms of the economy. So some people are starting to wake up. They're seeing those things, and I'm getting more and more calls. 2 weeks before I left to come on this trip, loggers in Port Alberta called me up and asked me to come and